And welcome. My name is Danielle and this is Long Life Yoga. Our mission is to have a long, healthy life with continual self-improvement, to have stronger and more flexible bodies, a more focused and intentional mind, and a more grateful and peaceful spirit. Thank you for joining me on this journey. In this video series, we are going to focus on the Root Chakra Muladhara. And as we practice yoga, we will learn three things. First, what is the root chakra? Second, how to become more aware of it in our own body and how to connect to it as needed. And three, how to take control of our own health to know if our root chakra is out of balance and what we can do to fix it. By the end of this series, you will not only know this information, but you will have practiced it. So let's get started. The root chakra is the first of the 7 chakras or energy points that exist along the spine. It is represented by the color red and it is activated at birth. It is located at the tailbone, the very tip of the spine, and it radiates down the hips, the legs, knees, all the way through our toes. It is our connection to the earth. Let's practice connecting to it now. We'll sit in easy pose with our legs crossed and both sit bones rooted evenly into the ground. We sit up nice and tall, lengthening our spine all the way up through the crown of our head. I invite you to rest your hands on your knees and close your eyes to take a deep breath in. And exhale. Continuing in this breathing, find your own pace. Find your rhythm. First noticing your breath and then slowing it down. We visualize the root chakra as a bright red jewel, glowing and activating your most primal instincts for survival, safety, and security. When this chakra is healthy, you feel comfortable in your body. You feel safe and connected to the earth, grounded and secure. Your actions manifest as responsible, reliable, and dependable. You feel financially stable. To keep this chakra healthy, we'll be mindful of our surroundings, returning to nature and going outside as often as we can. We'll also be mindful of our diet, eating red and rooted vegetables and fruits like turnips, beets, strawberries, and tomatoes. As we begin this sequence of poses called asanas, they are designed to awaken this root chakra. So please listen to your body and respect its limits. There should be no pinching or pain. This is an all levels practice, so if there is a pose that you need to skip, show yourself some compassion and know that you will achieve it next time. So, we're going to continue staying in easy pose. And we will slowly lower our left ear down to our left shoulder. Keeping our chin level, we can deepen this stretch by using our left arm to guide our head deeper into the stretch. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, relax the neck and the jaw even more. One final breath in. And on the exhale, we release the left arm down. Let's do that on the other side. We'll lower the right ear to the right shoulder, keeping the chin level and the neck relaxed. We can deepen the stretch by having our right hand assist us in lengthening the neck. Deep breath in and exhale. One final breath. And on the exhale, we can release to center. We'll now do 3 arm sweeps. Arms down by our side, we sweep all the way up to the sky, palms touch. And on the exhale, we release back down. 2 more. Deep inhale, sweeping up, gathering all of the energy. And exhale, releasing back down. Last one. Inhale, sweep the arms up and reach towards the heavens. On the exhale, we'll twist and lower to the right. Right hand comes behind us, and our left hand gets a hold of the right knee. We'll hold this pose for 3 breaths, guiding our sight line over our right shoulder, if that's accessible for the neck. On the inhale, we think of lifting and lengthening through the spine. On the exhale, twisting deeper into the pose. 2 more breaths, deep inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale. And on the exhale, we return back to center. Beautiful. Let's do that on the other side. We'll start with our 3 arm sweeps. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep in all that you need. And exhale anything that is not serving you. Last one, inhale, reach towards the heavens. And on the exhale, we'll twist and open to the left. Left hand is planted behind you and right hand grabs a hold of the left knee. Guide your sight line over your left shoulder and we'll hold for 3 breaths. Inhale, we lengthen and lift up through the spine. Exhale, twisting deeper into the pose. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. And on the exhale, we return to center. Beautiful. We'll add the legs in here. So we'll open up the right leg out to the side and we'll hug the left foot into the inside of the right leg. We'll start with a side bend here. So we'll face our torso towards that bent left knee. Right hand glides down the right leg and the left arm sweeps up and over for a side bend. We twist and open our chest up to the sky, gazing up only if it's accessible for the neck. Otherwise, we can look straight ahead or we can look down. We feel the stretch here through the entire left side of our rib cage, as well as the inside of the right leg. We'll hold here for 1 more breath. And on the exhale, we release right away, planting that left hand behind us, setting ourselves up for half wild thing. In half wild thing, we reach the right arm up diagonally and raise the hips with it. So from the right fingertips to the right toes, we draw a diagonal line. The upper body is experiencing a deep stretch through the right side body. And the lower body is experiencing strength as we squeeze the glutes and raise the hips to the sky. We'll hold here for 2 more breaths. Deep inhale and exhale. Last one, deep breath in. And on the exhale, we set our hips down and release the right leg. Our legs will stay the same, but we'll turn our torso to face the extended right leg. Inhale, sweep the arms straight up, and exhale our head to knee pose. Now in this pose, we call it head to knee pose. That doesn't mean that we have to quite touch, but it's more of a guideline for our alignment, that our shoulders are parallel to the ground and our back is nice and rounded with a heavy head. We let go of any control or tightness that we're holding on to in the hamstrings. And we'll hold here for 2 more breaths. Deep inhale. Exhale, we get a little heavier. Last breath in. And on the exhale, we slowly rise back to center. We'll take that right leg and cross it over our left bent knee. Now, if the right foot can plant firmly down onto the mat, great. If not, if it's just the toes that are touching wherever you are now, you will be in a more advanced position later. So we'll show ourselves some compassion. And we'll work on hugging that right knee in towards our chest. Posture here is important. So we lift and lengthen through the spine, lowering the shoulders, creating a lot of space between the ears and the shoulders. We feel the stretch here going down into the outer hip, and we breathe. Nice deep inhale and exhale. If you'd like to intensify this pose, the left arm can reach up and hook the left elbow over the right knee, twisting and opening up to the right once more. This is an excellent position for spinal health and lower back health. We'll hold for one more breath. And on the exhale, we'll return to center, unhook the arm, both hands come back behind us. Now in one move, we're going to lift the left leg and plant the left foot down on the ground. So we lift it up and plant it down, and right now we are in a seated pigeon pose. This is a beautiful hip opening position, and you can choose the intensity. The closer your left heel is to your hips, the more intense this is going to feel. If it's too intense, you can work on extending that left leg out. We'll hold it here and add a little sway. Now, as we sway back and forth, we notice where the sensation travels, and it moves throughout the hip space here. So we'll hold for one more deep breath. And on the exhale, we'll gently uncross the legs and do that sequence on the other side. So this time, the left leg is extended out to the side, and we will tuck the right foot into the inner thigh. We'll start with a side bend, so our torso is facing the bent right knee, and our left hand glides down the left leg, right arm sweeps up and over. We work on pushing that right hip down into the ground to get a stretch all the way down into the hip, and we rotate the chest up to the sky. We breathe. Nice deep breath in and exhale. One last breath. And on the exhale, we release, planting that right hand behind us. Half wild thing, left arm sweeps up and the hips join us. So this time from the left toes to the left fingertips, we are drawing a diagonal line. Reach all the way through the fingertips, reaching for more, enjoying the stretch for the upper body, and squeeze the glutes and raise the hips to the sky, building strength in the lower body. Holding here for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale, last breath in, and on the exhale we set the hips down, left arm comes down as well. Our legs stay the same, but we're going to change and turn our torso towards that extended left leg. Inhale, arms rise. On the exhale, our head to knee pose again. Rounded back and a heavy head, we open up the hamstrings and let go of any control or tightness that we might be holding on to. Holding here for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale, last breath in, and on the exhale we slowly rise to seated. We'll cross that left leg over the right knee and work on seeing if we can plant that foot down onto the mat. Wherever you are today, hug that left knee in towards your chest and work on posture. A nice straight back, an even chin, and a smile on your face. We'll hold here, deep breath in, and exhale. Beautiful, good job. If you'd like to intensify here, right arm rises and we hook the right elbow over the right knee, twisting open to the left. Nice deep stretch here, a little bit of a challenging pose. We'll hold for 2 breaths. Last inhale. On the exhale, we release. Both hands come back behind us, and we'll work on that single movement of planting the right foot down on the mat. So nice deep breath in. On the exhale, we go into our seated reclined pigeon pose. Choose your intensity once again. The closer your heel is to your hip, the more intense it will feel. And then we'll add a slow sway, noticing where the sensation travels. Holding here for 2 breaths. Last inhale. And on the exhale, we will release. Beautiful. We're going to go into our tabletop pose from here. So coming onto all fours, onto our hands and knees, we first check for alignment. So we want our hands and our wrists stacked directly underneath our shoulders and our knees directly underneath our hips. We spread our fingertips wide and push into our knuckles and our fingertips to relieve any tension off of the wrists. From here, we'll do a cat and cow sequence. So on the inhale, we drop the belly, lift the gaze, point the tailbone up to the sky for our cow pose. On the exhale, we round the back, tuck the tailbone in, and gaze at our belly button, feeling a nice deep stretch through our shoulder blades and through our spine. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, look up. Exhale, rounding. Last one. This is a great position if you spend a lot of time seated. And rounding out. Beautiful. We'll return to a neutral tabletop pose, hugging in our lower abdominals and squeezing. We'll lift the bent right knee up to the sky with the bottom of our foot facing up to the heavens, and we'll do some hip circles here. So opening the knee up to the side, back around again, and up. That's 1, 2, and 3. Back up is 3. We'll bring this foot to the top of the mat for our low lunge. We'll make an adjustment here and checking again for alignment. We want the right ankle directly underneath the right knee, and we bring the foot to the inside of our palms. In this low lunge, we want to make sure that that back knee has some space and allows for our hips to sink. We're going to get a nice stretch here in that front left hip into our psoas muscle. We plant our hands and lift our gaze, holding here for 2 breaths. Nice deep inhale and exhale. Last breath in. And on the exhale, we'll set our hips back for half splits. So our leg stays in the same position, but we straighten that right leg. In this position, the stretch changes from the left leg to the right. So we have a nice deep stretch going down through the back of our right leg. Our toes are relaxed, and once again, we lift our gaze. This is a position where it's really nice to get that deep stretch through the hamstring, but we want to relax the toes as to not stretch the nerve. We only want to stretch the muscle. Last breath in. On the exhale, walk your hands up again. Tuck the back toes and lift the back knee for our runner's lunge. Holding here, a position of strength. 1 breath, inhale. On the exhale, bring the right foot back to join the left, and we'll enter our first downward facing dog. So our fingertips are spread nice and wide, and we're pushing into the knuckles. Our arms are straight and strong. Our head is dangling, and our neck and jaw are relaxed. With a flat back, we work on pushing our chest closer to our thighs, curling the tailbone up to the heavens. Now, if the knees are bent and it's more comfortable that way, the most important part of downward facing dog is a flat back.
So the knees can have a nice bend in it, and we can work towards straightening the legs and getting the heels closer to the mat. We'll hold here for one more deep breath in. And on the exhale, child's pose, we bring our knees to the edges of the mat, toes together. We sink our hips towards our heels, extending our arms all the way out and resting our forehead down onto the mat. Child's pose is a beautiful position for self-reflection, to humble ourselves, and to give ourselves a compliment and a break. Self-love is a big part of yoga. We'll hold here for one more breath. Deep inhale, and on the exhale, we slowly rise back to tabletop pose, bringing our knees back underneath our hips. We'll do that sequence again on the other side. So we'll start with 3 cat and cows. Inhale, lift the gaze, point the tailbone up. Exhale, round the back and contract. Inhale, playing with weight distribution here between your hands and your knees. Exhale, you can really round out and feel the spine. Last one, inhale, look up. And exhale, round. Beautiful job. That feels really great. We'll return to a neutral tabletop pose and we'll add in the hip circles for some hip health here. So we'll start with the left leg extended with a bent knee and the sole of a foot flat towards the heavens. We'll round it out to the side and back down is 1. Up, out to the side, and down is 2. Last one, out to the side and down is 3. We'll now plant that left foot at the top of the mat for low lunge and make any readjustments that we need. So we wiggle our toes to make sure that the left knee is directly over the left ankle, and we bring the foot to the inside of our palms. Once again, creating lots of space. You might need to scoot that back knee back a little bit to allow the hips to sink down. And now we're getting a nice stretch to the front of our right hip. We lift our gaze and we hold here for 2 breaths. Deep inhale and exhale. Last one, deep breath in. And on the exhale, we'll walk our hands back into half splits. So the legs stay the same, but the stretch now moves into the left leg, the left hamstring in particular. And again, a relaxed foot. We lift our gaze and we hold for 2 breaths. Inhale. On the exhale, walk the hands back up, bend into that front left knee, and we'll tuck the back right toes, lifting it up for runner's lunge, position of strength. Inhale, and on the exhale, step the left foot back to join the right, and we return to downward facing dog. Feeling a little bit more comfortable. This time we can work on moving our chest a little closer to our thighs and paddling out our legs, bending the left knee and then the right. We'll hold here for 1 more breath. And on the exhale, child's pose, knees come to the edges of the mat, toes come together, we sink our hips towards our heels, extend our arms down and find rest. In all that is going on, we find our moments of peace. And we take our simple time here for a few breaths to check in with the body and to check in with our spirit. Holding here for 1 more breath. And on the exhale, we rise back to tabletop pose, bringing our knees underneath our hips. We'll tuck our toes here, bringing our knees together a little bit more and resting our hips on our heels. Now in this position, we're really getting a nice deep stretch
through the backs of our legs. It is the practice of reflexology, where every part of the foot is connected to a part of our body. And in this position, we're really getting a nice deep stretch through our feet. So the upper body here will sweep the arms all the way up. And on the exhale, we'll cactus the arms. We'll set ourselves up for eagle pose. So we have the left arm underneath the right, and try to have the elbows touch, binding once or twice. We move our arms out away from our forehead, allowing ourselves to drop our head towards our chest. Holding here for one breath, feeling a nice deep stretch between our shoulder blades. On the exhale, we unwind and return to cactus, opening our chest up to the sky. We'll do that on the other side. This time, right elbow is under the left, binding once or twice. Lifting the elbows up, moving the hands away from the face, dropping the head down. And we hold and we breathe. Inhale. On the exhale, we release, cactus the arms, and bring our hands back down for tabletop. Untuck those toes, wiggle them out. That should feel nice and refreshing here. We'll return to our downward facing dog. So extend the arms out a little bit in front of you, tuck the toes, send the hips all the way up to the sky. Here just for a moment, deep breath in. On the exhale, take as many steps, walking your feet towards your hands at the top of the mat, and we'll meet in Ragdoll Fold. In Ragdoll Fold, we have a generous bend in the knee, and we allow the torso and the upper body to drape over the legs. If your arms dangle and touch a little bit here like mine, it might be nice to have a grip on opposite elbows, and you can do a little sway here. Very reassuring pose. It's a beautiful position to look at things from a different perspective and to send some energy and the blood flow throughout the whole body. We relax the upper body even more and get some expansion here through the spine. Decompressing the area where a lot of us hold stress and worry, and in this position we learn to let it all go. Holding here for one more breath. On the exhale, release the arms, bend the knees a lot, and slowly roll up, pushing into the heels, taking your time to rise, inch by inch, vertebrae by vertebrae, until your head is the last thing to rise. Mountain pose, our palms face forward, and we pause. Taking this time to show ourselves some appreciation, thanking our body, thanking ourselves for this time that we're investing in ourselves, and feeling the energy coursing through our bodies. One final breath here. We are strong. We are powerful. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to touch. Hi, trees. And we'll hold onto the left wrist for our crescent bend here. So we're pushing into the left hip. And breathe. Exhaling to center. We'll grab a hold of the right wrist. Crescent bend, pushing into our right hip. And breathe. And releasing back to center. Our arms will stay above with palms facing in towards each other. We'll set ourselves up for chair pose so our feet are a little bit wider and we set back into our hips. Right away we feel the activation in our glutes and in our hamstrings and our quads. We have the weight of our body in our heels. We know that because we can wiggle our toes. And we curl our tailbone in to eliminate as much sway in the lower back as possible. We hold here, getting stronger every moment that we're on the mat and taking that strength with us when we leave. Hold for one more breath in. On the exhale, we rise, pushing into the heels. Beautiful. We'll work on a little bit of balancing here for tree pose. So left foot is rooted down into the mat, and we come up onto our right toes. We rotate that right knee out to the side for that external hip rotation, and we choose our resting point for our right foot. Either right heel on ankle, right foot on the shin, or if it's in your practice, having the right foot all the way to the upper thigh. Wherever you are today, show yourself some compassion. Hands come to heart center and we focus. This is our opportunity for mental clarity, where we focus 100% of our attention on one thing. If you'd like to challenge yourself even more, arms rise. Beautiful. We'll hold here for 3 breaths. Deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. On the exhale, we'll release that right leg and right away step it back for high lunge. In high lunge, both feet are facing the same direction. They're both pointed to the front of the mat. We check for alignment that our left knee is still over our left ankle, and that our feet are on 2 separate wavelengths here. So commonly we stack one foot in front of the other, but we want to be on 2 separate planes. Once you feel steady, arms rise, high lunge. In this position, I always feel so powerful and strong. I hope you do too. We'll hold it here for 1 more breath in. On the exhale, we'll fold over, planting the hands and stepping the left foot back for plank pose. In plank pose, we are strong through the abdominal wall, and we make sure our glutes are not too high or not too low, trying to create an even plank. We'll lower the left knee and rotate the right foot to be parallel to the short edge of the mat, raising the right arm up for modified side plank. Here, if you'd like to challenge yourself some more, you can allow the right foot to hover, squeezing into the glutes, gazing up at the right hand only if it's comfortable for your neck. Deep breath in. On the exhale, we release the right foot down, the right hand down, and we return to tabletop pose and child's pose. Knees wide, toes together, hips on our heels, and we melt down. Pausing here, being proud of ourselves for all that we just accomplished. We take a deep breath in. And exhale, final breath. Inhale. And on the exhale, we rise back to tabletop pose, bringing our knees underneath our hips. We'll go right into our downward facing dog, hands out in front of us. Tuck the toes, send the hips all the way up to the sky. We were here before, but now we probably feel a little bit more open, a little bit more loose. And we'll walk our feet as many steps as needed to the top of the mat, returning to ragdoll fold. Bending the knees and letting go of the upper body. Allowing gravity to pull down on us. Relaxing the head, relaxing the jaw. Feeling a new space in our back. Relaxation through the spine. Allowing the root chakra to be the highest point. We hold for 1 final breath in. On the exhale, bend the knees a lot and slowly roll up. Beautiful. Excellent. We pause, mountain pose, and we smile, feeling the energy. Take 1 final breath in, and exhale, release. Beautiful. Reach your arms all the way up to the sky. We'll set ourselves up for child's pose, feet hip-width distance apart. We set our hips down. This time a little bit lower, challenging ourselves to do more. Again, tucking that tailbone in and feeling the heat build up in our glutes and in our hamstrings. We are steady. We are strong. When we focus only on our breath, we forget what the body is doing. So we'll hold here for 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And on the exhale, push into the heels to slowly rise. Great job. Let's do that balancing pose, that tree pose this time on the other side. So right foot is planted firmly down into the mat. We come up onto the left toes. Opening the left knee out to the side for the external hip rotation and choosing a resting point for the left foot, either the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. Wherever you are today, once you feel steady and you have your focal point, hands come to heart center. Wobbling is totally normal at all levels, and sometimes certain days are better than others, but we'll just show ourselves some grace and focus. We'll take one more deep breath in, and if you'd like to challenge yourself, arms rise. We are focused. We are intentional. 2 more breaths. Last inhale. And on the exhale, we release the left foot right away, stepping all the way back for high lunge. And then checking for adjustments, checking for alignment, that our feet are on 2 separate wavelengths, and that we have a nice bend in that front right knee. Now, the lower we sink, the more intense this is going to feel. Once you've chosen your intensity, arms rise, and we gaze ahead, stronger and more powerful, more confident than we've ever felt before. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. You've got this. And on the exhale, folding forward, planting the hands down for our runner's lunge. Okay, runner's lunge. We'll step with the right foot to join the left for plank pose. Once again, working on our core strength and our abdominal strength. We are strong and we are straight through the spine all the way to the heels. We'll drop the right knee this time and rotate the back left foot, reaching the left arm up to the sky for our modified side plank. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Beautiful. What a great shape. Now, if you'd like to challenge yourself more, the left foot will hover, squeezing in through the glutes, looking up only if it's comfortable for your neck. Holding here for one final breath. Deep inhale. On the exhale, lower the left leg, lower the left arm, and we return to child's pose. Knees wide, toes together, hips towards our heels, and we melt down. Now checking in with both sides, feeling a little bit more even and balanced, now having done the practice with the left and the right. Holding for 2 more breaths. Last inhale. On the exhale, we rise back up to tabletop pose, bringing our knees underneath our hips, and we'll go back into downward facing dog. Hands out in front of us, tuck the toes, hips up to the sky. Beautiful. Here, just for a transition into our pigeon pose. So right leg rises, and then we bring the right knee to the right wrist. The right ankle comes behind the left hand, and we melt our hips down towards the mat. So this is a little bit of a challenging pose here. but a beautiful hip opener, great for hip health. We'll start by working on our posture, reaching all the way up. And on the exhale, we'll fold forward, bringing forearms down for our head to rest. Now this is one of those positions that just requires time. The more time spent in this pose, the more comfortable it gets. We relax the hip and we relax the body, allowing itself to lengthen and get more flexible with the time that we invest into it. We'll hold here for one final breath in. On the exhale, we'll straighten the arms. Tuck the back left toes, lift the hips up, and return to downward facing dog. We'll do that on the other side, so this time we lift the left leg up, and we bring the left knee behind the left wrist. Extend that right leg back behind us for our pigeon pose. We start by lifting the chest up to the sky with straight arms. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, we fold over. Forearms coming down, resting our head, and allowing that left hip to open up as well. We'll hold here for 3 breaths. Last inhale, and on the exhale, we lift the torso, straightening the arms. We'll tuck the back right toes, returning to downward facing dog. This is our last downward dog for this practice, so we're just gonna really enjoy and get any last sensations that we need from this position. We'll do one final breath in. On the exhale, we'll ripple our body forward into plank pose and lower down to our bellies. Beautiful. Untuck the toes. We'll go into a Sphinx pose here with forearms extended out. This is a beautiful heart opener stretch and for the lower body. If you feel any pain in your lower back, you can push your pubic bone down into the mat, squeezing the glutes, and that will lengthen the lower lumbar spine. We'll start by pointing both toes back and just hovering the right foot up, squeezing. Now, if this hurts your back at all, rest your belly all the way down and still squeeze in through the right leg. One final breath in. On the exhale, we relax the right leg, and we'll do that on the other side. Point the left toes and allow the foot to hover. It might not be coming up too far, but we definitely feel the heat in through the glute. Holding for one final breath in. On the exhale, we release. We'll turn over onto our backs now as we start to slow things down. So we'll set ourselves up for bridge pose here with our knees bent and our feet flat on the mat. We'll start by relaxing the upper body here. So we rest the facial muscles. We tuck our shoulders underneath our body with our arms relaxed by our side. Our feet are hip-width distance apart, and we'll choose the intensity here. The closer the heels are to the hips, the more intense this is going to feel. I like to just barely be able to touch my heels as I wiggle my fingers. So we'll take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, we'll curl the tailbone up and rise the hips to the sky. Squeezing into the glutes, we relax the upper body. This pose is about lower body strength. There's a tendency here to open the knees, but we want to keep the knees stacked directly over the ankles, squeezing and allowing the heat to build on the underside. Holding for one more breath in,
And on the exhale, we'll slowly roll down the spine until the hips are the last thing to touch. Beautiful. We'll do that once more. So deep breath in. On the exhale, curl the tailbone up, rise the hips to the sky and squeeze. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the shoulders, feeling the heat only in the lower body. Holding here, not here forever, but the effects of it will be long lasting. One final breath in, and on the exhale, we roll down the spine and set the hips down. Beautiful job. All right, we'll do our knee to chest pose. So we hug the knees in, giving them a nice squeeze, feeling a little bit more open through the hips. You can enjoy this pose in stillness, or you can sway side to side, giving yourself a nice lower back massage. We'll hold here for 2 more breaths. Last inhale. On the exhale, we'll go into happy baby. So we hold the bottoms of our feet with knees bent wider than our torso. The soles of our feet facing up to the sky. It's a great hip opener stretch here. And again, we can enjoy it in stillness or swaying side to side. Holding this pose for 2 breaths. Last inhale, and on the exhale we release all the way down for our final resting pose of Shavasana. Taking up a lot of space here, we spread out our arms and our legs and enjoy a much deserved rest. In yoga, Shavasana is the most important pose. It's the time when we digest all that we have just accomplished. We scan our bodies to check in with how we're feeling, and we show ourselves a lot of love for completing today's practice. We'll take a nice deep breath in through the nose, feeling the chest rise, and exhale, feeling the chest lower. Coming back to our breath, we inhale, finding our own pace, finding our own rhythm, slowing things down. We clear our mind of anything past and anything future, focusing only on the present moment and enjoying this space. I invite you to stay in this position as long as you need. And I will guide us through our final meditation here, bringing us back to our root chakra. Return to your visualization of the root chakra at the base of the spine. Your bright red jewel growing brighter and spinning faster and healthier, like a cord connecting you deep to the center of the earth. It nourishes you, provides for you, stabilizes you. You are meant to be here. You have been placed here for a purpose that is not yet complete. At this time, give honor to God and your ancestors for keeping your line alive just so you could be here. You are connected, rooted, stable, unwavering and unbothered by the occurrences of life. You are safe, and you are meant to be here. This will be our mantra. We'll repeat it 3 times and then enjoy some silence. I am meant to be here. I am meant to be here. I am meant to be here.
Take one more deep breath in. And on the exhale, wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes as a gentle way to bring your body and your spirit back together. Reach your arms all the way up overhead, reaching your fingers as far from your toes as possible for your good morning stretch. And when you're ready, roll to one side, using your hands to slowly guide you back up to a seated position. We will join in easy pose. Thank you so much for joining me in today's practice. I hope you feel more energized and more at peace. And I will see you in the next video where we will talk about a closed root chakra and how we can take a hold of our health. Until then, God bless and namaste.